Hey, what's up guys? So today we are comparing the boAt Rugby with the boAt Stone 700. Now these have a number of similarities, so I think it's only fair to compare these two. They fall into slightly different price brackets, but it could be confusing based, on what you would want to get. So I think comparing these two and doing a sound test would somehow do it a bit justice and help you choose the speaker that suits you the best. So starting off on our left, we have the boAt Rugby. Now this literally looks like a Rugby and it's got kind of a weird shape, but it's not too heavy and it's easy to carry around. On top we have our buttons, the power button, volume down, the play, pause, answering call, ending call buttons, and also long pressing this will search for Bluetooth devices, and the volume up button. And also these two buttons can be used to change your tracks, going to the next track, going to the previous track, the usual controls. On the side, we have your microphone, you have your micro USB port for charging, and an aux port to plug in a 3.5mm cable if you want to use a non-Bluetooth source to play music on this speaker. Up front, as you can see, very visible, two speakers right there, and at the back you have a passive bass radiator which produces most of your bass and the mids and the highs. So very basic in terms of functionality. You do not get any sort of IPX water resistance or proofing with this. So boAt does not claim any sort of IPX rating. So this is not safe near water, no splashes, no light rain, nothing. It's good for indoors and outdoors if the weather is dry, but no water resistance whatsoever. Also, you do not get any FM or USB port to plug in a pen drive to play it with, nor can you use it as a power bank. As for the battery capacity, boAt does not state any exact figure, but you can get more or less 5 to 6 hours of playback if you keep the volume from 50 to 70%. 70% is the max if you want to get the best battery life out of it, but at 100% it wouldn't last you that long. Coming to the right, we have the boAt Stone 700. Now, this has always been my favorite speaker in terms of the most robust build quality. It is also fairly easy to carry. I think it's just a tad bit heavier than the boAt Rugby. But on the other hand, because it's so robustly built, this is your go-to speaker if you want to rough use, if you want to expose this to rough use, if you want to use it outside and if it's drizzling or if it's light rain, this speaker has you covered, no problem. It's got a tough metal grille, front and back, got two drivers in the front and a passive bass radiator at the back. This produces obviously the low end, the bass, and the mids and highs from this side. Clicky tactile silicone buttons on top, so you have the power button with an LED on top, the Bluetooth button for pairing and unpairing a device. This button is for play, pause, answering and ending calls, volume controls, and also to be used for going to the next track or the previous track. As for connectivity options, you've got USB and line in. So basically you have micro USB for charging this device and an aux port, like I said, same as this, to plug in your 3.5mm jack and use it with a non-Bluetooth audio source. So pretty basic connectivity there, guys. No FM, no USB 2 to plug in your pen drive or using it as a power bank, but boAt does state its battery capacity to be 2000 milliamp. So you get, it claims 8 hours of continuous playback, but keeping the volume to around 70 to 75%, you can get that 8-hour mark, if not 8, at least 7 hours. But at 100%, you're looking at around 5.5 to 6 hours of continuous playback. All right, that's for this. But guys, rating wise, the IPX6 rating of this makes it a much better build. So much more solid in the hand, can take drops and no worries near water, which you cannot say with the boAt Rugby. This has got a higher capacity battery, so more hours of playback, while boAt does not state its battery capacity, but it's not going to last as long as the boAt Stone 700. Well, as for the price, you get this for around 1400 max. and this retails for up to $24.99, so around 2,500. But if you check the links below, the links to both of these are in the description below. You can check them out for the latest prices. This right now should retail for around 2,200 bucks, which is a very good buy for the boAt Stone 700. If you get this for 2,200 bucks, and if you can extend your budget to that limit, do get the boAt Stone 700. But if your budget is within 1,500, this is definitely a good buy with a few minor sacrifices. All right, enough said. Let us switch these on and do a sound test. So long pressing this.
Ready. Discovering.
Okay, automatically it's searching, and there is a blue LED when it's searching for a phone to pair it with.
Power on. You've plugged into Nirvana.
So LED is right here. This is also searching for a device. So let's pair it. This should automatically.
You're now connected to boAt Stone 700.
All right, the boAt is connected, and here's the boAt Rugby.
Pairing successful.
Okay, both give you verbal confirmation that your phone has been paired. The audio source right now is with the boAt Rugby, as you can see. So let us play some songs. It's at full volume from my device. Alright, just let you know, once you click it and it reaches max volume, it does give you a faint beep to let you know that it's at max volume. Alright. Full volume. Okay, let's go to one more track. Alright, so let me tell you, both of these, the boAt Stone 700 and the boAt Rugby, both of these are 10-watt speakers. So they have the exact same output. Now, doing the sound test, what I'm hearing in person right now, I know it's going to be different for you guys listening to it through your speaker or headphone or whatever device you're listening it through. It won't do real justice, but my spontaneous and honest opinion is that the output, the volume for both of these are the same because they have 10 watt of output. But as for the boAt Rugby, I found that the mids and highs are a bit more forward and bright compared to that of the boAt Stone 700. But the boAt Stone 700's bass is a little more rounded and a little more pronounced than the boAt Rugby. This does produce decent amount of bass. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's decent. This just a tad bit better in terms of bass, but the mids and highs are not as bright as that of the boAt Rugby. So like I always said, that the boAt Stone 700 gives you an overall better sound experience, no harsh highs, no harsh mids, and without any distortion in the bass. This gives you much brighter, not much brighter, but in comparison to the boAt Stone 700, the boAt Rugby gives you more forward mids and highs and a little subdued lows. So in short, if you do want to give that little extra point for bass, then I would give it to the boAt Stone 700 along with very good mids and highs, a very balanced sound. For a budget, for something below 1500 bucks with basic functionality, no FM, no USB, no IPX rating for water resistance, this gives you very good sound. It's pretty decent. The only downside, which I've always mentioned with speakers of this form factor, is that when these drivers, the main drivers, face you, you get a very bright and rich sound. But if you are facing the bass radiator, then you are missing out on the highs and the mids. So you're going to get a part of the sound. So it's always good to face this side because you more or less get 70% of the sound, but a bit of the bass is going to be sacrificed because it's this side, but it's not too bad. Same goes for the boAt Stone 700. The mids and highs come out from this side while the lows are produced from this side. So facing the side which has the boAt logo, you will get a much richer and brighter sound. But yeah guys, this is kind of tough because both have exactly almost identical outputs, but just a little brighter sound on this because of the pronounced highs and mids, and an overall richer and better sound on this. If you have the budget for this, if you want something that's built very solid and has IPX rating, which is worry-free near water, then go for the boAt Stone 700. Else the boAt Rugby will not disappoint you. Both of these stay stationary when you keep it and play it even at full volume. But if it's lying like this and this, then they will tend to move about. So yeah guys, that's been it. That's been the comparison between the boAt Rugby and the boAt Stone 700. If you have any other questions, do let me know in the comments below. I'll try to help you out as much as possible. Links to both of these in the description below. You can buy it from there and check out other comparison videos in the link given below. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I will love you guys nonetheless. Subscribe to Priyacast 9 today so that you do not miss another video. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.